I wanted to talk to you about Zach and how he's coming along. So where, I guess, in the development process would you say he is?
I'm really pleased with him this camp. Coach Jasper did a really good job with him in off season. He basically had like homework in off season, and did a lot of mental work. And I'm just really pleased at where he's at right now in camp. And with about 8 practices left, I'm excited where he's at.
I was reading that the confidence in the mental aspect of the game was definitely what you guys have been focusing on. What has he done to work on that, I guess, post-summer homework, but actually being in camp?
Well, most of it's been on his own, but I think he's been real attentive in meetings. So he's come to practice with a really good focus. But he, having been in Army game, been in the bowl game, been in our championship game, he recognizes how important it needs to be for you to be dialed in. So he's come with a renewed focus, I would say, in practice, and I really like what I see right now.
How do you think those experiences last year in those last 3 games, starting Army Navy, did you see, I know spring he wasn't quite where you wanted him to be, but how has that carried over? How has he built on that specifically?
Well, there's nothing we can do to simulate the pressure of the Army Navy week, the bowl game. So he had the most pressure cooker atmosphere that you could ever dream of. So just like I told him, there's not going to be any game more pressure packed than that. So hopefully that kind of allows him to speaking of pressure cooker, but allows you to kind of just let your hair down and play, so to speak. And he's done that this camp. I think he's like relaxed a little bit. In spring, I think he's still a little tight, but he's doing good things right now.
That's just kind of what he needed to do, just take it slower, relax, get into the
I think the biggest thing is just more confidence, and that he knows what to do. And I think as he's starting to get more confident, it just allows him to let his abilities take over. Not too much thinking, just play.
Is that reps that increases his confidence? Is it talking to the senior captains? Is it just being around the guys more on a daily basis? How have you seen it come along?
Well, I think it's twofold. Obviously, his Coach Jasper, Coach Judge, who's been filling in when Coach Jasper has been away. But reps are always the greatest teacher. Just getting more and more reps. And I think through camp, the off season, just everything, accumulation is helping him get better. What
type of leader is he? Is he going to be one of the more vocal guys in the locker room? I haven't met him yet. So.
No, right now he's more of a leader by example, and I think that's to start off with. I think it's always better that you lead by example. Some leaders that start off like this, guys are like, "What have you done so far?" So I think as guys start leading by example, and then once guys see like, "Wow, he's somebody we can listen to," then you can be more vocal. And I think it's kind of more of his nature. He's kind of a little bit more on the quiet side. Right now he's leading by example.
In that kind of regard, the trust, it's obviously he was coming in new last year, but the trust of the guys around him, the O-line, everybody, has that increased as he's become more confident and he's developed?
I think it's definitely increased in camp. I think the bowl game, he bounced back. I thought he played a really good bowl game, so I think the guys saw that. And I think them watching him in camp has gotten their confidence even more, but he recognizes in this game and in sports you got to produce. So I think as he plays well, guys will get more and more confident. But I know everybody likes what they see so far. I definitely do.
I know Coach Jasper is dealing with the family situation. How engaged has he been able to be in also dealing with that? Have you guys been kind of a relief for him to come back to practice?
Well, we just kind of leave it up to him. It's just obviously I can't imagine what he's going through. And so we just kind of leave it up to him. When he can come, he comes. When he's at the hospital, he's at the hospital. And I think he comes sometimes. I don't think he can ever get his mind off it, but I think it helps, But we just kind of leave it up to Coach. If he's here, we're excited that he's here. If he's not, we all understand.
Is there anything technically you would like Zach? I don't know how much tightening up you can do with the handful of practices you guys have left, but is there any technical aspects of his game that you're really hoping to see improve?
Are you talking to Ivan after?
Yes. That's a question for him?
He's the technical guy.
Perfect.
It's just all of his stuff, but Ivan's going to help you with that. Just, you always can work on your footwork and your option mechanics, but I'll let his coach tell you that.
Thank you. I wanted to talk to you about Zach. So Coach told me to talk to you about the technical things, so I guess I'll start there. With the kind of handful of practices you guys left, what are you hoping to see him either tighten up? Would you like to see him work on a little bit while he can?
It's just confidence. That's what it comes down to. He's played a lot of football for us. Obviously, he was thrown into a tough situation last season, but he's grown up. I think he's earned to be the #1 guy. He's definitely he has all the tools to be a great quarterback for us. And just getting his confidence. I'm looking for that look. It's a certain look that you have as a quarterback in this offense, and it's getting there. He had a pretty good scrimmage this past Friday. It's not just a matter of polishing things up, and as we go into next week and game week and just getting better. So I'm excited about where he's at. Just have to continue just to work our game plan and get it more, start tightening our game plan down, taking the fat off, trimming the fat off our game plan, kind of getting down to what we're going to do so we can focus on that a lot more. But now we're throwing a lot of stuff at him, just see where he is. Today he did a great job in the team offense part. So I'm satisfied. Not just a matter of getting out there and putting it on the football field.
How far has he come since spring? I was reading that you guys weren't quite satisfied. You gave him some summer homework. What's the improvement been?
He struggled in the spring. You know, again, it's not a secret. You know, but gave him a few things over the summer. Just some video to watch. Just a matter of just being able to see it over and over and over again. Because on offense, what we're going to do is over and over and over again. So we're very repetitive on offense. Just a matter of learning different looks, learning the schemes, and getting comfortable with them. You know, and did a great job over the summer. He brought it into camp, and he's had a solid camp so far. Now, for me, I was kind of gone for a while, but coming back and watching the film, he's been doing a really, really good job. Now, again, just a matter of taking it all to next Friday night.
When you say, I guess you've been gone for a while, you come back and have a solid camp, is he where you expected him to be? Did you set kind of progress notches that you wanted him to meet, or a schedule, anything like that?
It was where I would have hoped he would be. You know, with the summer homework, coming back, you know, from the summer and being able to go out there on the football field and being able to see what I want him to see, get us in the right play, make good decisions, and again, just show confidence. You know, so when I came back, I mean, I was very, very pleased with what I saw. And again, it's just a matter of taking on the field and putting it all together, getting that look, and going out on the field and just getting after people.
What's the look like?
Wow, it's hard to explain.
I'm sure I see it if I watch Keenan, if I watch some of these guys. But
well, there was a look that Keenan had his first start at. It was we were at Central Michigan. Mm-hmm. The camera was on him coming out of our locker room. They had the camera in his face. I remember watching the game when I came on. I was like, wow, that's the look. Tom Brady had it on the final drive to win the game. There was one shot of the look in his eye that they showed the camera up close.
I was
like, that's the look. You know, so that's the look.
That's the look. That's a high standard.
Oh well, I'm just saying. I mean, I know it's not Tom Brady, but at the same time, well, no, it's. Well, not so much. It's just a confidence look. That's all. I mean, Tom Brady knew what he was doing that last drive. We're gonna go down there and score. I know what I'm doing. I got the game plan in my mind, and I know what we're looking for. And just a look of confidence, you know. And so, again, it's getting there. We have 1 more week to do it, or 2 more weeks to do it, and we'll be ready. He'll be ready to play.
How much did the games that Zach started last year, the bowl game, Army-Navy, how did that affect him? Do you see him kind of carrying that, not just that experience, but I feel like after playing those games, like, you've got to be some kind of fearless. Like, that's
exactly.
as bad as it's going to get.
As bad as you're going to get. You know, if you're a first-time starter in the Army-Navy game, the biggest game of the year, after that game, there should be nothing any team should show him, or just as far as nerves, that he should not be ready for. He should always go back to that game and how he felt. And these games should be nothing compared to that as far as nerves.
How does someone then, after going through that, why do you think he still needed to work on that confidence? I guess when you say confidence, do you mean around the team and making the decisions and reading the defense and a triple option?
Exactly. Just
what part do you mean?
Well, the thing we always talk about, on Friday night, we have a deal at the hotel where we put the game plan together on film. It's like a video clip. So we'll go through certain plays, certain looks. And I will always say, okay, what do you check here? And Keenan and Will always check this play, check that play. They always knew what was going on. And so as a quarterback and as a team, when you're sitting in there and your QB sitting up there and he has every single play in his mind, he's spitting it out, boom, boom, boom. Now the guy's like, well, hey, we're ready to play. Our quarterback's ready to play. He's on point. We might have a great game tomorrow night. You know, so hopefully we get to that point come next week.
How have you seen, are there examples that you kind of come to mind where you've seen like, oh, that's an example of confidence he wouldn't have shown in spring?
Well, put it this way. I was Friday, I ran the scout team defense. We had a game scrimmage. I ran the scout team defense, so I was lining him up, and I was sitting and watching him. Everything he did was confidence. He was just barking out certain things to the offensive line, letting those guys know to look for certain things that were coming. So he understood what the play call was, what the dangers were from the defense, and he alerted guys to it. You know, so that's what you're looking for. Just he knows what's going on, and that's the key.
And that's something you've seen kind of the first time this fall camp here?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. I'm trying to think if I've got everything else. You answer fast. Yeah. So you're going faster.
I'm a fast talker too.
When you've been obviously very focused on your family these past couple of weeks, is it easy for you to take your mind off of football? Are they both kind of always in the back of your mind? What's that?
No, it's been when I'm with my family. It is all family. I mean, football's been so far from. I mean, it's not even because they might always preach that to us. Guys, we're husbands and fathers first. You know, when football's over, it's over. Go home, be with your family. You know, so for me, when I'm there with him at the hospital, it's just strictly trying to just be there for him and get his spirits up and get his hopes up.
that must have been really nice then for you to leave your one job and come back and say, oh, he's exactly where I wanted him to be.
Exactly. It was the best feeling in the world, and the guys did a great job. Coach Judge, Coach Ingham, Coach Akitis, Coach Rourke, and Coach Bryce McDonald, they've all did a great job, and Coach Akitis, they all did a great job getting ready to play. It's been a coaching staff, as far as our old staff. It's been they've all come together, you know, in my absence, and just come together, and they know we got to reach the one guy. We got to reach Zach, because Zach's he's the head of the snake now. He has to get us ready to play, you know. So they got him ready to play. He's ready to go.
That's got to give you a lot of faith in Zach as well, in terms of his. I mean, I'm sure you weren't at all questioning his like studiousness or anything.
No, it does. I mean, it's again being away, but coming back and seeing that he's doing a great job, you know, and the confidence is there. And again, last week Friday, I saw it out there on the football field. Him just again telling guys what to look for, alerting guys to it, and that's the key to this offense: is being in the right play when the defense shows something different. They change up on us, get us in the right play, because if we're in the right play, we're pretty good, and that's the key.
Have you changed his body at all this summer? Has he gained any weight, lost any?
I mean, he's a very physical kid. He's a wrestler. He played rugby, you know. So we want that. Again, it's just a matter of how he feels. He can move. It's about maybe 212 pounds. I think he was 216, almost 220 at some point as well, too. You know, so just a matter of, again, we're going to run the quarterback. You know, so and I think on the pass guy, Will Worth was obviously was a thicker guy. You know, so he has kind of that same build, probably faster than Will. You know, but he's a very, very physical kid, and we're going to run him.